Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit. Yo, welcome back to an Absolute Unit podcast. It's your host with the most, Travis Hudson. I think this is episode 10, so let's go. Shout out Pog. I get some Pogs. Oh, that was fucking cringy as hell. But yeah, I'm just hanging out. I'm playing Civilization 6 with no audio for some reason. Can't hear it for some reason. Oh, master volume's turned all the way down. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. But yeah, hanging out, playing some games, recording some podcasts. I'm actually recording 3 podcasts at once. I just don't tell anybody about the other 3. But yeah, this is a new thing for me to talk about. Really like Civilization. I've got probably 1,000 hours put into this game, which I don't know if I'd say I'm proud of it. You know, it's just a thing. Back before I had like a nice desk set up and I was just playing on my laptop. I didn't really like playing FPS games on it because it's such a small screen and like I didn't have a separate keyboard and didn't really have anywhere to like put my mouse. So this was a good game for me to play with like just a mouse, or you can pretty much play it with just the keyboard, which is nice if you're just playing on laptop. So yeah, I put a lot of hours into this game for pretty much no reason. But yeah, we're grinding through it. I'm playing as, I don't know if anybody knows what this game is. I might be able to explain it a little bit. So you pick a civilization and you pick a leader, and you know that leader has certain bonuses and unique attributes, and you just build a civilization and you try to win the game. There are like 5 different ways to win. You can do a science victory, which is basically like you're the first civilization to explore the world. There's culture victory, where you have more tourists than anybody else. There's domination, where you just take over the capital of every other player. Religious victory, where you have the predominant religion in the world. And diplomacy victory, which that one's kind of hard to explain. That's like kind of like the other win if you don't get any of the other ones, essentially. I'm playing. I'm having fun, I think. But yeah, welcome back. I should double check. Is this actually episode 10? That's kind of crazy. We're in double digits now. This is episode 10. Holy jangle. It does feel like I've been doing this for a while, which is weird because I also started it this year, so can't be that long. I guess today is last day of March. Probably won't go up till tomorrow because I'm a busy man. Classes just started back up. Just started spring term. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not hard to explain, but it's hard to remember that not everybody does quarter systems in college. Kind of odd. Most places do semesters, so kind of unique that where I go to does quarters instead. It's 4 quarters. Obviously, that's why it's called quarters. And summer term is kind of optional, so it's kind of unique in that sense. But yeah, I feel like there's something I wanted to talk about. Oh, dude. Like the day after I put out the last episode, something kind of crazy happened to me. I was driving. I experienced road rage again, guys. Crazy times. Dude, it pissed me off so much. What happened? I was driving on a 2-lane road, right? You picture that. And there's a guy with driving a truck and a trailer next to me on the road. And I say front of my car is next to his back wheels, essentially. It's like a 25 or 30 mile per hour speed limit. So neither of us are going too fast. All of a sudden, this guy speeds up just a tad, so that like if he was driving just a truck, he'd be able to switch lanes. But he had a trailer and he just decided to switch lanes anyways. So he starts coming into my lane and I honk because there's people behind me. I can't slam on my brakes and like let this guy in. I honk and he just keeps doing it. He honks back, and that's what pissed me off, is that he honked back. Like, whoa. What am I supposed to do, guy? What do you think this is? Upsetting. And then I switch lanes because I'm pissed. And I'm trying to look this man in the eyes while I'm pissed. So I get up next to him and I honk again and flip him off, obviously. And then he honks back and he laughs. He's like, it's him and a woman in the passenger seat, and they just laugh. And I'm like, dude, you almost caused an accident. Why are you laughing at me like this? Yeah, he laughs and then he honks again. And I'm like, dude, are you trying to do something right now? Like, I just say Wendy's and I'm ready to fight. Okay, guy, I'm ready. I'm so ready, dude. I got nothing to lose. It looks like he had a dog I could have stole. Like, it's game over for him. I hate how ignorant and arrogant some people are while they're driving, especially people who drive trucks. I know it's kind of a stereotype, but it's facts. It's facts, dude. Most people who drive trucks are like, I'm in a truck, you get out of my way. I'm like, well, we're all sharing the road here, guy. So, it's not all yours, dog. Of course. So like I think about that as like a good podcast episode, or an interesting podcast segment. And of course I just put out the podcast like that morning, so couldn't do it. But also, yeah, I'm totally, this says a lot about a person, but I don't care about like flipping people off or honking while I'm driving, because like some people need it. Some people need to hear it. Okay. Some people need to hear it. Some people need to be brought down a peg or two while driving. It's another one of those games where I just zone out while playing it. So like it can be a great podcast game because I played it for 1,000 hours, like I said, so I can do it pretty mindlessly at this point. Why can I hear the Halo theme music? What is going on? Y'all hear that? Is that just me? Is that nationwide at this point? Who knows? Could be. Dude, can I tell you something? That's a huge fear. I don't know if it'd be fear, but like, could you imagine if something like that happened? Like nationwide, everybody could hear the same song? No thanks, dude. Terrifying. If nationwide a song was just playing, like somebody put into every speaker and everything that could output sound and made it all play the same song, what would be the most terrifying song, What's that one? The Flight of the Bumblebees? What is it? Flight of the Conchords? Yeah, Flight of the Conchords would be a terrifying one. The Halo theme song is like super ominous, so that'd be good too. New Lil Nas song, We're All Going to Hell. Call Me By Your Name plays on every song, and, Christians just burned to death. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. What are they gonna do? Dude, have you guys heard what everybody's complaining about with that new Lil Nas song? I don't get it. Like, this is not the first time that, satanic themes have been in songs. The most recent time that it's been really popular. So, yeah, it'll be over in a couple of days, I feel like. 'Cause, I don't want to assume that it's because Lil Nas is gay and black that, people are freaking out more, because I never want to assume that of people, but it really feels like a possibility in this situation, if I'm being honest. Fuck, I don't have any iron. God damn it. Also, in this game, Civilization, you need to have like strategic resources, and I don't got none of those right now. God damn. I need iron to build swords, and I ain't got none of that. Bless me. Okay, some people might think that I'm rude for this, but it's mostly just because I'm not religious. I wasn't raised religiously. I've been in a church more times just because I've been shown around than actually like going to any kind of service. I say I've been in a church less than 5 times in my whole life. Pretty fair guess. So I don't say bless you, and I don't expect people to say bless you to me when I sneeze, because it's kind of weird, right? If I'm the only person who feels that way, I don't say it, and I don't feel like people should expect me to say it. Like, that's weird to me. Maybe I'm rude for that, but, personal preference, personal opinion. I wonder if you guys could hear that cat screaming in the background. What, dog? I don't even see a cat in here. I could hear screaming like it was a foot behind me, and I see nothing, absolutely nothing in here. Oh, my God. I probably talked about this before. My girlfriend's cat loves to yell, loves to, like, whine. Basically, my cat, when she makes noise, I'm like, something's wrong. She never makes noise. She's quiet, silent. It's funny when my girlfriend makes my cat like make noise, and I look at her and I'm like, what did you do? She's like, I touched her, I pet her, because she's convinced that my cat just doesn't like her. It's so funny. Yeah, I'm not as convinced that my cat doesn't like her, but I'm very close. I'm very close. My cat just likes me, Some cats have a person, and I'm that person for my cat. I don't know what to say. I hate how bad my posture is only when I'm sitting at my desk. Like, I walk fine. I don't walk like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But is it Notre Dame or Notre Dame? Is Notre Dame the one in the college in the U.S. and Notre Dame is the actual one? Wait, did Notre Dame burn down? Did they rebuild that? That's kind of crazy to think about. Like, that's some medieval shit that, like, Notre Dame burned down. Oh, man. I really just stopped talking there for a while, didn't I? Holy. Okay, something that I want to mention, because I've talked about how I want to, like, change up the intro song every now and then. So I feel like they each need to have a name other than just, like, the first opening, the second opening, or whatever. But I'm still not 100% sure if I do want to switch it up, because I feel like sticking with one theme song is very good. It's, helps the brand. If this is, you can even call this a brand. But the first original opening, does have an unofficial name at the moment in the unofficial title is just Whose Mans. That's it. It's kind of funny. Whose Mans. Just think Whose Mans every time you listen to it in the beginning and the end. I also might just make a different outro song, not necessarily just like, I don't know, not necessarily completely redo intro and outro. Might just have a different outro song. Maybe I'll switch one up and not the other, and wait to do the other one, because I don't know. I still might make a YouTube video of me trying to come up with a second one, but that's tough because how I came up with the first one is like I had a theme in mind. I recorded that guitar part, and then I listened to samples for like who knows how long, at least an hour, just trying to find ones that fit, looking up the BPM. And I didn't even worry about the key because I was like, I can kind of change what key it's in with effects and stuff. So I still think that would be a fun video to make, but like it would be a lot of time lapse kind of stuff of me just like, I don't know, listening to samples. And I don't know, all the stuff on the program that I use a program called BandLab. It's free use, so like I don't have to worry about the copyright for any of it. But I don't know, YouTube's still kind of weird about that stuff. I don't want to get DMCA'd for anything stupid. Oh man, I started applying for internship positions recently for stuff that I can actually use my computer science degree for, because right now I just help customers and drive a forklift, which, not much software development in that field, but still fun. I do like driving the forklift and reach truck, that kind of stuff. It's fun to do. It better be fun to do. I'm gonna start working partially overnight a couple of days a week, just driving, because I work in the gardening section. Told you guys that before. But so I just fill up mulch and soil and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing that from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., which right at first sounds terrible. That sounds like an awful shift. But I don't have to go to work until 9 p.m. The store closes at 10, so I don't have to deal with customers for a vast majority of my shift. And since it's overnight and like I have a very specific job, if I'm done, I don't have much to do. I could just dip early. So that's kind of sick. So right at first, sounds like one of the worst shifts you could work. But, as you think about it more, it's not bad. It's definitely vastly different than what I used to do when I worked in the deli. I think I've talked about that before. I used to work in a deli in a grocery store. I worked 4 a.m. to noon, which sounds awful. Waking up at, 2:53 so you can eat and take a shower, it sounds terrible right off the bat. Not as bad, once you're doing it. Still not great. Still, it still could be better, but not awful. Oh man, I do miss that deli job sometimes. Sometimes I think about that. I still wouldn't want to work fast food. That sounds way worse than grocery store deli. But I don't know how much better it is. Oh man, I have a story that's not really my story, but it needs to be told. So a big thing about me growing up was I used to ride quads and dirt bikes, ATVs, what some people call them, the layman's term for them. But yeah, quads. Growing up, we would go out to this place called Sand Mountain. It's exactly what it says it is. It's just a mountain of sand. It's just a lot of sand dunes in the middle of the desert. And you go, set up camp, and then you just ride the dunes. It's fantastic. But it was really fun. It's something, I'm so happy my parents allowed us to do that. And, did it with us because they were into that. My parents rode motorcycles cross country before I was born. Before my sibling was born, I should say. They're the one that really ruined that for them, not me. I just extended it. But yeah, I'm so happy that we got to do that. And that's something I kind of want to do even if I don't have kids. I'd love to like build a sand rail and do that kind of stuff. But, it might not be plausible to do. We'll see. Oh, sorry. Got off track there for a second. But one thing we would do quite a lot is we would go to Sand Mountain for Halloween, because it's kind of a big place. I would say like, big trailer wise, on big holidays, 3-day holidays like Memorial Day, stuff like that, there could be hundreds of trailers there. Like at least 100. I would say it's a huge place. But Halloween was fun because, everyone would dress up. You'd get onto like a flatbed trailer and you just ride around to different campsites and trick or treat that way. And it's so fun, dude. Especially because it's dark in the middle of the desert. So a lot of people have fun, scaring kids. I got scared so bad one time. I was going up to trick or treat and this dude was hiding. And then I think he was wearing like a Bigfoot type costume, maybe like a werewolf. Something like that. I don't know. I was kind of young, so it just traumatized me. But he pops out of nowhere, and I freak out, fall down. And, like, I wasn't super young at that point. I was probably 10. I think that was the year I dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite. So I was 11. 11, because I did that 6th grade. Are you 11 or 12 in 6th grade? No, I don't know. But yeah, so that was a really fun time. But this most recent year, I had, moved out of my parents' house, but they still went with my sibling and, hung out, did trick-or-treating this past year. I mean, didn't do much because, the vid. So they kind of stayed in their campsites or like went around on the flatbed, but didn't really like go into people's campsites. But one thing that did happen is they hung out with some slightly different people this year than we normally would, or maybe there were just more people there. I don't know the exact circumstances, but they found out that this one girl, her profession is making furry suits. Yeah, dude, making furry suits. They're so expensive. They're like $1,500. So she made herself and 6 of her friends furry suits, and they like rode around in furry suits. Rode around in the trailer. It was just on furry suits. I guess you're in a furry suit, not on it. It's on you, That was just astounding to me. I mean, I don't know why I figured, people who had furry suits were just like so committed that they just made it themselves. I guess it makes sense that like somebody needs to do that, but 1,500? That's crazy. I don't know if there's any kind of thing that I'd wear that I would spend $1,500 on. Oh God, guys. So not engaged or anything, but obviously girlfriend wants to be. Said something like that before. She went and tried on wedding dresses recently, which like doesn't bother me. I don't know what to say. It doesn't mean much. She just it was a thing she wanted to do, so she did it. And I had an inkling of how much wedding dresses cost, but oh my God, I had no idea. They're like $1,000 minimum for a dress. I get it's a wedding dress made out of nice material. It's for a special occasion, so they're allowed to upcharge a little bit. But $1,000 minimum for a dress? Like, I can buy a nice suit that I would wear to a wedding for $200 or less, honestly. So that's bizarre to me. It's insanity. I can't believe that. Like $1,000 minimum? Sheesh. I wonder what the most expensive piece of clothing I own is. Probably, I mean, if you count it all together, probably my suit, especially because I got it tailored. God, I hope I still fit into that thing. I'm kind of swole as hell now, so maybe I don't. I got it tailored when I was like a senior in high school, maybe junior year. I don't know. The pants will definitely still fit. Haven't grown, so that's fantastic. That's great. It's exactly what I want. It's exactly what I want, to not grow at all. I'm perfectly content being what I'll say is 5'7". I know it's 5'6", but I'll say 5'7", because what's the difference? 5'6", 5'7", same height. Explain it to me. They're the exact same height. 5'6" and 5'8" are different. 5'7" and 5'8". 5'8" is taller. 5'6", 5'7", same height. You know what? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Is this gibberish, or is this common knowledge to everybody? Yeah, height is a human construct. I understand that you can measure it. It's fake. It's fake. I don't believe in height. I don't believe in it. It's fake. Name one person who says their true height and that isn't over 5'9". At least for the male perspective. Females, they'll say whatever height because it doesn't matter to you. But for some reason, it's a defining characteristic for a lot of males. Yeah. Whatever. I'll tell you guys an odd dislike I have. I don't like it when people try to get overly deep about stuff. Like somebody was trying to argue that time doesn't exist, like that time is just fake, that it's to the point where it's so great, like time, like what is it, total time, since it's billions and billions of years, which are already like billion seconds and all this stuff. It's just a huge amount of time, since the limit is, or not the limit, God, I started speaking like calculus terms, since the maximum amount of time is so great, it basically doesn't exist, especially to us, which like our lifespans are such a small portion of it that it's basically null and void, which to an extent I understand, but like relax just a little bit, okay? But yeah, when people try to like go too deep into subjects like that, I just don't understand it. Like, it doesn't matter. I guess I get that it is, interesting to see someone's perspective on that kind of stuff, but like, I'm not gonna bring it up. I don't care. I've got so many other problems, dog. And I get also that it's like an escape from those problems to think about other things. Still, what's worse than like a friend of yours trying to get too deep into a conversation like that? Coworkers. Like when you just bring up something subtle, something slight, something that shouldn't matter too much, and they, turn it into something else and try to make a huge, deep conversation about it. Oh my God, but I don't care. Sometimes I think that I'm too nice to my coworkers just by not being mean. Like, that's a little too nice. Some are great. Some of them I've made friends that I'll, what just happened? Sorry, something just crazy happened in this game. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm still playing Civilization. I've been recording for 2 hours. A lot of it is me going brain dead and just playing. So, yeah, sorry about that. It's not gonna matter to you. It's not like I'm leaving in an hour and 40 minutes of silence. But, still. Yeah, I need to be a little bit meaner to some of my coworkers. Because, especially the place I work, no shot I'm getting fired for being mean to somebody, right? It's not a fireable offense, right? Can't be. Is it? I guess it could be if you're, like, harassing them. But, like, I'm just going to be a little bit rude, right? I'm going to look this up really quick before I get this too set into my mind. Can I get fired for being mean to my coworkers? A person can get fired after complaining about inappropriate behavior of another employee. Is it inappropriate though? Fraternization, these are all just like me sexually harassing somebody, which isn't going to happen. Couldn't imagine. I was talking to somebody the other day that I would like to go to a male only gym just so that the possibility that a female could get they could be uncomfortable by something that I did, even looking. I would love that just because I want everyone to work out and be happy while they do it. I don't want there to be fear of any like peeping on either side, on any side. So that's my reasoning. I'm terrified of making somebody think that I'm creepy or looking, staring. Terrified, absolutely terrified. So I would love to not have that stress on me while I'm, holding 150 pounds above my head. That'd be fantastic. But the firing may be unlawful retaliation for a complaint about unsafe working conditions. Interesting. You'd be fired for disrespecting your boss. The short answer is yes, you can be fired. Oh, you can fire an employee for disrespectful behavior. Interesting. I feel like you shouldn't be able to get fired for that. Like, at least not fired on the spot. Like, if you get written up or, like, 3 strikes, you're out kind of thing. But, like, imagine being just, like, kind of rude to a coworker and they just fire you on the spot. Wouldn't that be crazy? I feel like that would be the unlawful termination segment of that. Somebody might be coming to interrupt me. That's crazy. How rude and disrespectful could one be? It's insane. How rude and disrespectful could one be? Don't they know I have a podcast? Don't they know who I am? I am Travis Hudson, the host of the Absolute Unit podcast. I have 10 episodes out and I've made no money from doing this. I need to contact somebody about do I even want sponsors on this? I feel like that'd be a little too much. I don't know. I'm just trying to make people laugh. I don't really need money from this. I'm doing just fine otherwise. Watch, somebody will clip this later on when I'm like, hey, welcome. Here's my Adam and Eve sponsorship, which that'd be a sick sponsorship to get. I'm trying to get them to send me stuff, dude. I want a collection started. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what on earth am I talking about? I wonder if anybody's saved a clip of this podcast yet. Like, have I said anything funny enough to save as a clip yet? Probably not. It might be another short one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up pretty soon. Thank you guys for helping me get to 10 episodes. Couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't have the motivation to do this if nobody listened. So I really appreciate all of you guys. Really do appreciate you guys so much. With that being said, I'm Travis Hudson. Don't forget to follow me on everything. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter @_Travis Hudson and Absolute Unit Podcast is what I'm pretty sure the Instagram and Twitter are both called. Yeah, Absolute Unit Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. That the Instagram's been growing quite surprisingly. I followed a couple like podcast pages and a bunch of others have followed me back, so that's fun. Maybe I'll actually start posting on these accounts because I really just post about this on my main account. I'm still not sure how I want to use the other ones because like just using it as like a once a week to promote this show feels kind of weird because I feel like if you're following that account, you already follow me on either the Apple servers or on Spotify or anywhere else, so you already know when episodes are getting put out. I kind of tweet on my personal account and put it up on Instagram story as like a reminder and just to reach out to a little bit more people. So I'm still not 100% sure how I want to use those. But anyways, yeah, make sure you tell somebody you love them, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Kiss, kiss. Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit.